Is there anyone here who can tell the weather is changing just by how your knees feel? The rain hasn't even started, and your joints are already aching. You step out of bed in the morning and suddenly feel like you've aged a few extra years overnight. So many people I meet just sigh and say, "Well, I guess this is just part of getting older, doctor." My name is Dr. Samuel. Over many years working in biomedical science and senior health care here in the U.S., I've heard that sentence almost every single day. And there's one very important thing I want to say clearly. Joint pain is not just about age. Weather really does affect your joints, your ligaments, and the fluid inside your joints. Your joints are not betraying you. They're simply trying to send you a quiet signal. The good news is this: when you understand what's happening and respond the right way, there are very simple, everyday things that can noticeably ease the pain. In this video, I'll explain why weather changes make joint pain worse, the common mistakes that quietly keep the pain around, and some very familiar foods that, when used the right way, can help your joints feel lighter day by day. If you'd like to step out of bed tomorrow morning feeling just a little easier, I invite you to stay with me. Why does weather make joint pain worse? Have you noticed that whenever the weather turns colder, your joints seem to ache more than usual? Many people I meet think it's just something they're imagining. Some wait until the pain gets bad, then take a pain pill just to get through the day. Others simply endure it, telling themselves, "Well, that's just part of getting older." But I want to be honest with you. Those very habits can quietly make your joints weaker over time, without you even realizing it. The truth is, weather really does affect your joints. When it gets cold, changes in air pressure cause the tissues around your joints to shift slightly, making the nerve endings more sensitive. Joint fluid also becomes thicker in cold weather, which makes your joints feel stiffer and harder to move. Think of your joints like the hinges on a door. When it's cold, the hinge dries out, and every time you open the door, it creaks. Not because the hinge is broken, but because it hasn't been cared for properly. That's why the first thing I always remind my patients is this: when the weather turns cold, keep your joints a little warmer, especially your knees and ankles. In the morning, don't rush to jump out of bed. Take a few minutes to gently rotate your joints and stretch slowly, giving your body time to wake up. Throughout the day, sip warm water regularly. Don't wait until you feel thirsty. These may seem like very small things, but when you do them consistently, your joints can feel noticeably less stiff and less painful. Sesame seeds, a quiet, steady friend to your joints. When people start having joint pain, the first thing many think of is milk. They try to drink it every single day, but the pain doesn't really change. You know, more isn't always better, especially as we get older. One very simple thing I often suggest to my patients is sesame seeds. Just lightly toast them until fragrant, then grind them into a fine powder. Take 1 small spoon a day and mix it into a cup of warm milk. You don't need much. Consistency is what matters. Sesame seeds are rich in calcium and tend to be easier for older adults to absorb. In traditional medicine, sesame seeds are often described as food that nourishes the bones from within. Some of the most affordable, familiar foods can quietly support your bones if you use them the right way. Soaked almonds, support for bones, heart, and brain. Many people eat almonds, but I often see them eaten in ways that aren't ideal for older bodies. As we age, gentler preparation usually works better. In the evening, simply soak 2 or 3 almonds in water. In the morning, peel off the skin, eat the almonds, and follow with a cup of warm milk. This makes them easier to digest and much gentler on the stomach. Almonds provide vitamin E, protein, and calcium. They support not only your bones, but also your heart and memory. I often tell my patients, caring for your joints isn't about fixing just one part of the body. When you nourish your body properly, everything works better, and your joints no longer have to struggle just to keep up. Soaked dried figs, natural lubrication for your joints. Not every joint pain comes from inflammation. I've seen many people whose scans show no serious inflammation. Yet in the morning, their joints feel stiff. They hear creaking or cracking when they stand up. And walking just doesn't feel smooth. In many of these cases, the problem is dryness in the joint, a lack of natural joint fluid, not acute inflammation, as people often assume. For situations like this, I usually suggest something very gentle: soaking dried figs in water. In the evening, take 2 dried figs and soak them in a glass of clean water. The next morning, drink the water, then slowly chew and eat the figs themselves. That's it. Nothing complicated. Figs help support the body's natural production of joint lubrication. When the joints are properly hydrated, movement becomes smoother, with less stiffness and less noise. Many people come back and tell me, "Doctor, just feeling a little lighter when I stand up in the morning already makes me very happy." Okra. Let's be honest. So, there's no confusion. Okra is not a medicine for sudden, severe joint pain. It's not something you take and feel relief right away. But for the right person used the right way, it does have its place. One simple option is okra water. Take 2 to 3 fresh okra pods, slice them thin, and soak them overnight in about 10 to 14 ounces of water. The next morning, drink the water. Use it for 7 to 10 days, then take a short break. If you're not comfortable with the texture of okra water, you can simply cook and eat okra 3 to 4 times a week. Okra tends to help people with joint wear and tear, low joint lubrication, and dry, stiff joints in the morning. If you wake up feeling a little less stiff, and standing up feels a bit less sharp or painful, that's your body responding. These approaches don't work overnight. About 30 days to notice changes, and 60 days to feel lighter in your body, with quieter joints and a calmer mind. And please remember one small thing from me. Limit processed foods, fast food, and sugary sodas. They dry out the joints and pull calcium from the body faster than you think. In the evening, if you have the time, I'd like you to try a proper foot soak using simple herbal leaves. You only need a handful of amaranth leaves, a handful of wild beetle leaves, and a small pinch of salt. Coarse salt works best. Simmered in about 2 to 3 liters of water for 10 to 15 minutes. Then pour it into a basin and add cool water until it's comfortably warm. And soak your feet for 15 to 20 minutes before bedtime. While soaking, gently massage the soles of your feet and your ankles. 3 to 5 evenings a week is plenty. Amaranth leaves help reduce mild inflammation and relax the tendons and muscles. Wild beetle leaves help relieve cold-related discomfort and pain, especially for people whose joints ache in cold or damp weather. One cools, one gently warms. Together, they help the body feel noticeably more comfortable. A foot soak isn't meant to erase pain instantly. But if you sleep more deeply at night, and stepping out of bed in the morning feels just a bit easier, then you know you're heading in the right direction. You know, joint pain doesn't live only in the joint itself. It quietly steals your good sleep, your flexibility, and the simple joy of daily living. The weather, we can't change that. Age, we can't turn that back either. But there is one thing I'm absolutely sure of after more than 30 years in practice. How we care for our joints is always within our control. Healthy joints aren't about luck. They come from very small habits, done consistently, day after day. Even tonight, you don't need to do anything big. Have a glass of warm water, take a gentle walk around the house for a few minutes, and if you can, add a little ginger or some fish to your meal tomorrow. Just one small step. But done consistently, your joints will slowly start to feel more comfortable, and your whole body will feel lighter too. If you found this video helpful, please consider sharing it with a friend or a loved one around your age. They might need to hear this too. I'll be right here with you, every step of the way,